8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Price Red is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce. And an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV 9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, November the 3rd, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. The public tonight mourning the death of veteran PLP politician Reginald Burrows. 83-year-old Mr. Burrows passed this morning. He was well known for his decades of service as an MP for the constituency of Southampton East and his service later in the Senate until 2005. Mike Sharp reflects on his life and legacy.
He represented Southampton East for several years and also served as a senator. The OBA's Patricia Gordon-Pamplin stated in the House of Assembly this morning that Mr. Burrows was referred to as the gentleman's gentleman and set a great example. Derek Burgess of the PLP said Mr. Burrows served his country 40 years as a parliamentarian and businessman and was a long-serving member of Southampton Rangers Sports Club and described him as a gentle giant. PLP MP Zane De Silva briefly mentioned a few of Mr. Burrows' accomplishments.
Alaska Hall might not be where it is today if it weren't for Reggie, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Very important. He was admitted to the Hall of Fame at the Wilberforce University, Mr. Speaker. He was honored by Vernon Temple, his beloved church, recently, Mr. Speaker. Thank God we done it before he passed. And, Mr. Speaker, we talked about his support of Southampton Rangers, but Reggie helped build Southampton Rangers, block by block, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Reggie taught me how to canvass. Now, we'll know with technology as it is these days, when I first decided to run for the Progressive Labour Party, and I would be filling those huge shoes, he taught me how to canvass the old-fashioned way, Mr. Speaker. We had our forms, we had our computers and all that, but he said, look, come with me. And I'll talk about that later on, I'm sure, in the coming week, Mr. Speaker.
Condolences to the Burrows family. I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And take note, residents tonight urged to be extra vigilant following a wave of burglaries currently taking place on the island over the past 2 weeks alone. Police report receiving 23 cases of burglaries in which multiple suspects have been reported. Once again, here's Mike Sharp with the details.
2 have taken place in the city of Hamilton, 2 in Devonshire, 1 in Hamilton Parish, 4 in Paget, 4 in Pembroke, 3 in Sands Parish, 1 in Smiths Parish, 4 in Southampton, and 2 in St. George's. This represents roughly 2 burglaries per day, with most taking place during working hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In a number of these incidents, suspects have been identified, and police are actively pursuing leads. Of note, the Bermuda Police Service would like the public to be vigilant, as we have reports of 2 black males on a motorcycle working together. Also, witnesses in the western parishes are describing another burglary suspect, a white male believed to be of Portuguese descent, who is very active in the Southampton area. In a number of the break-ins, the homes were left insecure and valuables were left in plain view. A reminder, secure your residence before you leave your home. Where possible, invest a security system with cameras or a dog. Take note of suspicious people and or activities and report them. Be aware of any servicemen, tradesmen, or workers that come to your home. And avoid keeping large sums of money and jewelry in plain view in your house. Conduct a self-audit of your home by cutting back trees and hedges. I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news, the government's announcement that it is working on a draft parliamentary bill that would replace gay marriages with domestic partnerships still reverberating tonight. The Home Affairs Minister, Walton Brown, invited residents to participate in a 2-week consultation on the bill that would effectively reverse the Supreme Court's ruling in May that gave the green light to gay marriage. Polled by this newsroom on the issue, activist Tony Brannan calling the bill regressive and a travesty.
You know, the thing about when Mark Pettingill argued in the Supreme Court on behalf of Winston and Greg, one of the things that Mark pointed out to the judge was that Mark said, I would be the first to defend any church who were under attack by any one group of people. In other words, each and every church is free to worship the God of their choice, the idol of their choice, whatever it happens to be, right? By the same token, these churches, they're all able to under law, protected by law. But by the same token, these folks are now trying to impose their will. And when I say these folks, because it's obviously obvious to me, because the OBA failed, as the PLP are going to fail and are failing by the very fact they want to go back in time and overturn a ruling by Charles Etta Simmons that approved same-sex marriage. This is completely going down the wrong road. It sends a message to everybody outside of Bermuda that we really don't have equality to mind.
Mr. Brannan says he finds the opposition to gay marriage especially puzzling from those who once fought for their own civil rights.
Anywhere you look in the world, whether it be civil rights or it would be the right to sit in a cinema wherever you want or whatever, for a group of people who fought so hard for their rights to then turn around and say to the gay community, we're not going to let you get married. We're going to change this. We're going to change this. You know, if churches don't want to marry anybody, so be it. They don't have to. The very fact of the matter is that it's now legal in the United States. It's legal in many countries in the world, England, many places in Europe, because this is the way forward. This is the future. This is what equality is about. This is what it looks like. You speak to, you listen to this Barack Obama, to you name it, people that are civil rights leaders, even the likes of the Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Be aghast at what Bermuda to become the first country to take away marriage equality and same-sex marriage. This is an abomination. And I am aghast and shocked at it.
And Mr. Brannan accuses the government of catering to certain groups by introducing the draft bill in question.
See, this is all this is. It's just an appeasement to the people that give these folks votes, whether it be OBA people. OBA politicians didn't have a backbone on this. The PLP politicians are governed by what preachers are saying in pulpits on Sunday. I mean, thank God for the Supreme Court. You know, the Supreme Court, whether it be in Bermuda or the Supreme Court of America, you wouldn't have civil rights in the United States if it wasn't for the Supreme Court. You wouldn't have legal mixed marriages in the United States if it wasn't for the Supreme Court. You left it to politicians with all those people down south. You see what's going on now with statues. I mean, it wasn't until June the 1st, 1967, that the Loving case in the Supreme Court of America, where all states within a white man and a black lady, or whatever a combination thereof, mixed marriages, could marry.
The public are invited to attend 2 town hall meetings on the bill over the next 2 weeks. The first will take place November 8th at 5:30 at BIU headquarters. The public may also write their feedback via email to domesticpartnership@gov.bm. We'll stay with us. More news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
You can count on us.
Save $1 on Green Giant Idaho russet potatoes, $5.99 for a 5-pound bag. Save $2 on fresh and tender boneless pork chops, $4.99 per pound. For your mac and cheese dish, Catelli macaroni, $2.19 for a 500-gram box. 1-pound box of Bluebonnet margarine sticks, just $1.99. Save $1.20 on Charmin Ultra Soft or Strong Toilet Tissue, $4.99 for a package of 4. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
When you shop online, the cheapest, quickest, and easiest way to bring your packages into Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
They're always willing to help. They're willing to go above and beyond. They've helped me many times with packages, to help me with invoicing and all sorts. So I love mailboxes.
Easy, convenient, and fast. The people are fantastic.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
It is time to fall back, Bermuda. Daylight savings time comes to an end this weekend, so before you head off to bed on Saturday, be sure to set your clocks and your watches back by 1 hour. The official time change is Sunday morning at 2 a.m. So think of the seasons and fall back. The sun sets earlier, sure, but you get an extra hour of sleep. So this Saturday, wind those watches and clocks back. Just a friendly reminder brought to you by Bermuda Broadcasting.
Welcome back. A celebration of the first 100 days of the new PLP government in the House of Assembly today. David Burt, the Premier and Minister of Finance, going through an itemized list of the 21 initiatives he promised would be implemented during that period under his government. Mr. Burt asserting that government has either successfully completed or significantly advanced all of those 21 pledges, starting with government reform.
Our message is that Bermuda adheres to all international standards of tax transparency. For example, Bermuda complies with all OECD criteria for transparency and exchange of information for tax purposes. Bermuda has been recently rated largely compliant on exchange of information upon request. Bermuda is the only UK overseas territory to have put into practice the OECD country-by-country reporting regime. As a result, the French government has placed Bermuda on its CBC reporting whitelist, the only UK overseas territory to receive this designation. Bermuda was the first overseas territory to join the base erosion and profit shifting inclusive framework by joining effective the 1st of January 2017. Bermuda shares data upon request and through automatic exchange through our Tax Information Exchange reporting portal. This portal has received common reporting standards information from industry and has delivered it automatically to OECD members, including EU member states, via the OECD's reporting portal. Bermuda's portal is now live for receiving country-by-country information from the applicable large multinationals headquartered in Bermuda. It will be able to upload this CBC information to the portal by the middle of 2018.
Premier Burt also highlighting achievements in education as it relates to the Bermuda College.
The first was with the Minister of State for the Commonwealth and the United Nations, Lord Ahmad of Wimbledon, who also has responsibilities for the overseas territories. Our discussions focus on the disaster relief efforts of those territories impacted by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The minister formally acknowledged the support provided by Bermuda to those affected territories and applauded our ability to provide skilled assistance. In my capacity as president of the United Kingdom Overseas Territories Association, I was able to address with the minister the agenda for the upcoming Joint Ministerial Council to be held in November, where the Bermuda delegation will lead those discussions on behalf of the overseas territories. I also held discussions with the Right Honorable Mel Stride, MP, Financial Secretary to Her Majesty's Treasury. His predecessor, the Right Honorable David Gogg, MP, who remains a member of Theresa May's cabinet, is a strong advocate for Bermuda. It was imperative that I ensured that Bermuda retains the same level of support from Treasury under its new leadership as it did under David Gogg. This support is even more important given our efforts in Brussels.
And travelers take note with the island continuing to experience unusually high tides. Skyport, the new airport managers, advising residents that part of the long-term parking lot at the airport has been closed permanently as a precaution. An airport spokesperson stating the high tides, which have caused flooding conditions in the low-lying car park, are expected tomorrow through Wednesday, November the 8th. Partial barriers have been put in place, while more visible fencing to cordon off the affected areas will soon be installed. Motorists are asked to avoid parking in the cordoned-off area to avoid possible flood damage to their vehicles. And in other news, a significant piece of legislation was introduced to the House of Assembly today that would establish a new beneficial ownership regime for Bermuda for companies. Introducing the bill, Economic Development and Tourism Minister Jamal Simmons said the bill would ensure the island kept pace with foreign jurisdictions and affect the timeliness of the exchange of information between governments.
Mr. Speaker, the bill being debated today will amend the principal acts in an effort to ensure Bermuda's compliance with FATF and OECD guidelines for transparency regarding the beneficial ownership of legal persons. These amendments are also intended to help meet commitments undertaken pursuant to the exchange of notes agreement between the government of Bermuda and the government of the United Kingdom, which was executed in April 2016. also known as the UK Agreement. Mr. Speaker, the underlying goals of the international standards on beneficial ownership are to establish transparency within legal entities, deter and prevent the misuse of legal persons and legal arrangements, and enhance the effectiveness of cooperation and information sharing amongst participating countries and law enforcement authorities. As such, jurisdictions are required to ensure that adequate, accurate, and timely information on the beneficial ownership of a legal entity is available and can be accessed by competent authorities upon request. More specifically, the international standards impose obligations on jurisdictions to establish appropriate regimes for collecting and maintaining information on the natural persons who ultimately own or control legal entities registered within their borders.
And turning to weather news, these sunny, gorgeous conditions will continue throughout our weekend. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
We have some pretty pleasant weather right now across the island of Bermuda. Off to the west, there is a cluster of showers and storms. Also, there's some extra moisture to our way off to our east and northeast. It's about 1,000 miles away. And this could become a quasi-tropical, maybe a hybrid system if it really gets its act together, but that's not going to impact us. This off to our west is not going to directly produce too much rain in our area, but this is going to be a troublemaker for us. This is a strong cold front crossing the northeastern U.S. That will, in a few more days, reach us and deposit some extra showers around Wednesday of next week in our local forecast. So here's an estimate of where it's raining based on satellite. You can see the healthiest storms to our west are kind of diving south and southeast, so we don't expect to see much in the near term. It's a delightful evening. Winds are extremely light. Humidity 65 to 70%. Temperatures 74, 75 degrees. Water temp holding at 77. It's like glass out there. Inside 1 foot or less for our wave heights. On the outside 2 or 3 feet, possibly near 4 feet come tomorrow morning. So it's a partly cloudy and quiet time. We can enjoy this one. No real issues. We'll get down into the upper 60s to near 70. Tomorrow, a mix of sunshine and some clouds. 76, a great day for us across Hamilton, and the entire area is going to be on a similar page. When we come to the tidal chart, high tide was this morning around 8:32 a.m. Recently a low tide, and now the tide's coming back up. It will be a high tide at 8:48 this evening, and then later on tonight into the wee hours of Saturday morning, we'll be recovering from a low tide at 2:42 a.m. When it comes to the gateway forecast, Toronto, a little cooler up there after a warm brief spell, down to 47 for the Saturday high. New York cooling back down after a warm Friday. Tomorrow's going to be chillier if you're heading that way. Boston, same story. We have some showers into Atlanta. Miami, scattered showers, thunderstorms possible. Into London, 55 degrees there. And across the Caribbean in places like Jamaica, Kingston, around 89, scattered thunderstorms. Barbados, 80 degrees, a few hit-or-miss showers. And while the leewards are fairly quiet, the windwards are dealing with some extra showers and a few possible thunderstorms into Trinidad, 82 there. The only tropical development, and this is, again, borderline, even worth listing, way to our east-northeast, there's a weak disturbance there, but we don't expect that to become any kind of a local threat. Looking at the extended forecast, it looks good. Now keep in mind, late Wednesday and into Thursday, we do expect to probably see a few showers and periods of rain break out associated with that northeastern U.S. cold front. It'll take some time to get here, but we will see some extra moisture arrive with that. But for the near term, we look delightful. A mix of sunshine and some clouds. Highs in the mid to upper 70s out there and lows close to 70, if not in the upper 60s most nights. You can find some good music and also good information when you need it on Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105. Enjoy the start to your weekend.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside St. David's.
Bermuda Broadcasting streams the news live on Facebook. Go to Facebook and look up ZBM News 9 and press the like button. You'll get notifications just before the news starts each night. And all of our newscasts are stored there so you can watch them 24/7 at your convenience. Bermuda Broadcasting wants to make it easy for you to stay up to date with your local news. So please sign up to watch us on Facebook Live 24/7 for up-to-date news from Bermuda Broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Turning to sports, it was 3 goals for Naki Wells last night. Cricket coaches heading for a training program, and a young cyclist helps her school finish 3rd in mountain bike championships. Earl Baisden has more in tonight's sports package.
Naki Wells scored a hat-trick for Burnley's under-23 team as they defeated Colchester United 4-0 last evening. Wells scored in the 7th, 34th, and 45th minute. He will be part of the Burnley first team that traveled to Southampton earlier today. Wells, following the game, was quoted as saying, "Most importantly, it's about getting through 90 minutes fit and getting more minutes under my belt." Wells also went on to say, "Scoring goals, it's good to be back amongst them, and a hat-trick in any shape or form is just good to recreate those memories of scoring goals at an important time." End quote. The Bermuda Cricket Board confirmed that Clay Smith and Calvin Waldron have been accepted by the Cricket West Indies to attend the Cricket West Indies England Cricket Board Level 3 Cricket Coaching Education Program course to be held in Antigua commencing November 8th. The course is being held at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in St. John's and will run for 8 days, ending on the evening of November 15th. The IAAF have established a new world ranking system to help qualifications for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. A new official world ranking system is to be launched by the International Association of Athletics Federation, which it is claimed will help competitors and supporters understand the sport better. The new partnership with Elite Limited to create the first official IAAF world rankings will also be used as a qualification mechanism for the Olympic Games at Tokyo 2020 and the next World Championships in Doha in 2019. Another important innovation is that the world governing body is to establish a new IAAF heritage to help preserve the sport's history. Gabriella Arnold and her Marion University cycling teammates competed in the second of 5 national competitions of the collegiate cycling season in Montana. Arnold and her teammates finished 3rd in the varsity team Omni standings at the USA Cycling Collegiate Mountain Bike National Championships. Arnold, competing in the cross-country women's national varsity division, finished 21st in a field of 42 competitors, clocking a time of 39:29. Arnold also competed in the short track cross-country varsity division, where she finished 12th. This coming Saturday, November 4th, Bermuda dressage riders will compete against 36 countries for the 37th annual FEI World Dressage Challenge, a competition that bridges national and international levels of competition in the dressage community. Competing for Bermuda in the adult division will be Angela Horan-Smith, Claire Salmon, Dawn Fox, Jackie Scott, and Virginia McKee, who has previously represented Bermuda in dressage events overseas. Representing Bermuda in the junior division will be Callie Amos, Christian Truin, Casey Truin, and Robin Stemple. Marley Smith scored 7 points, helping her Wilberforce women's basketball teammates win their NAIA women's basketball season opener against Miami Middletown 89-57. Smith went 2 for 3 from the field and 1 for 1 from behind the three-point line. Smith would grab 3 defensive rebounds to go along with 1 assist and 2 steals. In Bermuda Basketball Association Elite City League play inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium last evening, it saw a total of 245 points scored. The Falcons defeated the Lions in the opener 82-66. Both Chris Crumpler and Kevin Stevens scored 22 points for the Falcons, while Ja'Kai Clark scored a game-high 34 points for the Lions. The Panthers defeated the Renegades 54-43 in the nightcap. In mixed majors bowling league action, it saw the Movers and Shakers defeat the Troublemakers 11-9, while the Mix-Ups defeated the Untouchables 16.5-3.5. The Warriors fell 12-8 to Fight Back, with the Unpredictable defeating Spare Change 16-4, and the Minimax Forwarders defeated the Activators 11.5-8.5. In second spring senior bowling league action at the Warg Lane, saw the Last Pin defeat the Drifters 3-1. The game between the Blue Angels and the Pin Splitters ended 2-2. The Islanders went down 3-1 to the last minutes, and Old and Kickin' went down 3-1 to the newcomers. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Save $1.80 on fresh Purdue value pack chicken thighs or drumsticks at $1.99 per pound. 5-ounce package assorted varieties of fresh attitude salads, $4.99. Save 66 cents on Atlantic sugar, $2.79 for a 4-pound bag. Only $1.59 for a 12-ounce tin of Pat evaporated milk. For your holiday fruitcakes, Champion Seedless Raisins, $3.59 for a 12-ounce box. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
It is time to fall back, Bermuda. Daylight savings time comes to an end this weekend, so before you head off to bed on Saturday, be sure to set your clocks and your watches back by 1 hour. The official time change is Sunday morning at 2 a.m. So think of the seasons and fall back. The sun sets earlier, sure, but you get an extra hour of sleep. So this Saturday, wind those watches and clocks back. Just a friendly reminder brought to you by Bermuda Broadcasting.
And calling all real estate agents out there, the superintendent of real estate advising that existing real estate broker and agent licenses will expire on November the 30th, 2017. The receipt of real estate license applications will commence on November 14th, 2017. It's the responsibility of brokers to obtain criminal background checks from the Bermuda Police Service. The superintendent notes that applications for criminal background checks are to be made directly to the Bermuda Police Service. Copies of the criminal background check results are to be submitted to the superintendent with each broker and agent application. In the event the criminal background check has not been received at the time of submission of your license application, a condition will be imposed in real estate licensing, providing a limited time frame to permit the subsequent submission of the criminal background check results received from the Bermuda Police Service. Now in health news, another reason to avoid sugary drinks and how postmenopausal women can stay sharp. Danielle Nottingham has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
A new study suggests hormone replacement therapy may help some women's memory. California researchers found estrogen treatments after menopause protects memory that is needed for short-term cognitive tasks. Blood biomarkers appear to be an early warning sign of lung and airway problems for 9/11 firefighters. Researchers in New York examined more than 9,400 firefighters and found the blood test helps identify cells linked to respiratory diseases. And more research links sugar-sweetened drinks to high blood pressure and diabetes. Scientists looked at dozens of studies and found soda and juice can increase the risk of obesity, leading to heart disease and stroke. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Thousands of Apple customers around the globe lined up around stores to get their hands on the new iPhone X, which is meant to mark the 10th anniversary of the launching of the first iPhone that revolutionized smartphone technology. The new iPhone X is loaded with plenty of high-end hardware and new features, including facial recognition to unlock the phone when the user looks into it. The starting price in the U.S. will be $1,000.
I'm going home, plugging it in, and going to bed. I need sleep. I've been awake since Halloween.
Apple says the new handset is now available in more than 50 markets, including China, the U.S., UK, and Australia. Apple CEO Tim Cook said the iPhone X is off to a very strong start. Some customers reportedly got into street fights outside of the San Francisco Apple Store over a dispute on who was first in line. Others used the hype around the new iPhone to make some fast cash by offering to stand in line for others. And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Good night.